Let the church of God say amen. Amen. Say amen again. Amen. It's truly a blessing to be able to stand at home. I was reminded yesterday, we had a family barbecue. And my cousin said that if anybody was to rob anywhere, it would be the church. Simply because, he said, church is the only place that would take up a collection, but don't have any guards. He said the church is the only place that people know they can come on in and sit down and they welcome in here. When that offering basket runs, they can go ahead and steal it. But they know ain't nobody really, we don't know what nobody got. But nobody really think that there is a gun brought into the church. And so we get caught up in a lot of things and we think that we are safe. And so I asked him, I said, what makes you that much more safe at home than you are inside the church? And he said, well, you just know you're safe. You're at home, but I got a word that it ain't the alarm hanging on the wall that makes me safe. It ain't the bars that you got on the windows that make you safe. It ain't that security guard that you got in front of your lawn or wherever you live that make you safe. It ain't whatever you got in the drawer next to the bed that makes you safe. But see, I can lay down and I can rest, singing to my soul because I know that he is securing me. And because I know I can shout, because I know that he's securing me, I can testify. It don't matter where I am or what building I'm in, that he's securing me. If you don't mind standing and turning your Bibles to the book of Deuteronomy, the 33rd chapter and the 12th verse. I promise you we won't be long. Deuteronomy 33 and 12. Saying of amen when you get there. Amen. 33rd. And it reads, and Benjamin said, the beloved of the Lord shall dwell safely by him. And the Lord shall cover him all the day long. That's right. And he shall dwell between his shoulders. You may be seated. I got a title out of this, Roundabout Way. Roundabout Way. Deuteronomy 33, the whole chapter is recording Moses' prayer for the Israelites, tribe by tribe, people by people. And he has given them their blessings. For the tribe of Reuben, if you notice, it was the shortest blessing. It was the shortest prayer of all. It seemed like Moses didn't have much to say about the tribe of Reuben. But it was a plea of mercy. It was a prayer of intervention. And by Moses, it was mostly a prayer of his blessings. Reuben being the oldest son of Jacob, Reuben's rights was elders, his inheritance was forfeited by the relations of Jacob's concubine. He was responsible for saving Joseph by putting him in a pit instead of slaying him. What's going on here is Moses is praying for the tribes, including Reuben. Although Reuben had sinned, Moses is still praying for him. That's what we ought to do as people. Even though we have sinned, or even though we know somebody has sinned, we should still pray for that brother. Just because you think that it was bad don't mean that you can give up on it. Just because you feel like it was something that they shouldn't even never thought of doing don't mean that you should give up on it. We should be like Moses in this situation, that we should pray for everybody. No matter what state they are in, we still should pray for them. Here we are dealing with the sins that Moses and his brother Aaron had committed back at the waters of Meribah, then a desert called Zin. And Moses was able to view Canaan, but Moses knew that he couldn't enter it. But Moses couldn't give up. He still had a job to do. And that's just like us. We we are getting these instructions. We know what we've done a long time ago. And we often want to tend to reflect on what happened before, but we can't reflect on that. We got to get over what happened before to declare our present to make a brighter future. We got sometime, you know, here Moses knew that I know I won't be able to go into the promised land. For all I done a while back, my dirt that me and Aaron done together, it won't get me there, but I still got a word to give these people of God. I can't sit down, I can't give up, I still got to go on and fight, go that extra mile of the way to make sure I know I'm going to be knocked down, I know I'm going to be stepped on, I know I'm going to be backstabbed, I know I'm going to be talked about, but I still got a word to get to the people of God. Here Moses told this warped and crooked generation that since you've acted corruptedly and since toward God, he is now ashamed of you. He asked them, is this the way to repay your God, your creator, the one who birthed you, the one who made and the one who holds you? Is this the way to repay our God, the one who formed you? And often when I looked at that, I said, you know, I look at myself and my friends, and we tend to get blessed day in and day out. And the only way we can repay God is wanting more. We wake up in the morning and we complain about our heads are hurting. We complain that our bills were able to be paid, and we want to say I was left with nothing. Is this the way to repay the God who got you up? Is this the way that we repay him? I was left with nothing. I'm sitting at the dinner table and looking under the table and saying, I need new shoes. But there's plates filled with food. Is this the way I'm going to repay my father? Here God found Jeshurun in a barren and howling waste. God found Jeshurun there. I guess he was all beaten up and abused and tired and weary. He found Jeshurun there and he fed him the fruits of the field. He told Jeshurun that he's going to shield him as the apple of his eye. In other words, God took care of Jeshurun. God found him out there laying there needing help, searching and seeking for help. And God come and shielded him. But then when Jeshurun had gotten fat, Jeshurun grew bigger and got nourished and got his food, and now he don't need God as much as he thought he did before. Now he is starting, him and other tribes are starting to worship gods not known. They're starting to worship gods that recently appeared, and they also started worshiping gods that their fathers did not fear. Our Father would bless us and grow us, but we want those blessings, but we put more trust in something else. I believe that my car going to get me to point A to point B, but I believe God is going to do it, but I'm going to say, well, I don't know, because this car, you know, it acted up yesterday. What happened to your faith? Here we go. Here God grew angry at these people and at these tribes and said, you forgot about me, the one who gave you birth. You forgot about me. The one who holds your hand every step of the way. You forgot about me. The one who watches and protects you every step of the way. You forgot about me. The one that created you and the one that would take you away. You forgot about me. Now he's letting them know that you are still the apple in my eye. Before I created you, I knew you would do these things. And even though you're doing these things now, I'm still going to look after you because you are my people. But I'm going to have to take you around about the way before you can view your promised land. The land that you was promised to just walk right on in. Now I got to take you all the way around. I'm going to let you look over into the Jordan stream, but you can't touch it. I'm going to let you look at the willow branches swinging low, but you can't see it. We have to go around about the way. I'm not going to hold you long. This is just a quick word that I received from the Lord, from Deuteronomy here. But what stood out to me is that it said, let the beloved of the Lord rest secure in him. Let the beloved of the Lord rest secure in him. And that you can get that out of many different ways. You can get whatever you want out of it, but what I got out of it, one thing that stood out is that if you believe in him and if you follow him, he will direct your path. You know, so often we have to go through these things, through these trials and tribulations to know where our blessings come from. Sometimes we have to be knocked down to be able to understand that we are worshiping the God of that picked me up again. The one I think that I got knocked down and I'm holding my hand up for him to pick me up. He get me up and I walk on about my business and come back when I need something. But this is what's going on, not even here with these tribes of Israel, but it's happening today. It's happening today. It made God angry then and making him angry now. Because he wants us to know that I don't want no followers just going to use me when they need me. I don't want no followers that just going to call my name when they bored and lonely. I want somebody to call me when they're happy. I want somebody to call me when they're sad, when they can't see their way, and when they see their way. I want somebody that's going to worship me and be true to me. Here it was two tribes that he was talking about when he said that is abundant with favor of the Lord. He said the tribe of Asher is favored by his brother, and they bathe in their feet in oil. He said this here, we all familiar with this passage, that the eternal God is your refuge, and underneath are his everlasting arms. So that lets me know that everywhere I go, the Lord got me. It let me know it don't matter where I'm walking, no matter where I'm sitting down at, and no matter what nobody done said to me, the Lord is still holding me. No matter what I feel like today, the Lord is still holding me. He didn't have to wake us up this morning, but he held us right there in the rock of his ship, rocking us back and forth. I couldn't sleep at night, and I said, Lord, just help me. Worrying, my mind was heavy. It ain't an even balance. Want to know what I'm going to do today, what I'm going to do tomorrow, and I ain't thought of nothing about how to glorify God. Got to get my car washed, got to get my hair cut, we got to go down there and pay this utility bill. I got to go over here. Where did you put in at it? I got to pray. Did you put in at it? I got to worship. Did you put in at it? And see, folks get it twisted. We sitting in this building now. But what we going to do when we walk out in church this minute? The benediction might be read, but the benediction ain't in until he call you home. The benediction is not what we recite here in the Bible and whatever somebody say, the dismissal of the church. That ain't no benediction. The benediction I'm waiting to hear is, well done, thou good and faithful servant. That's my benediction. And we talked in Sunday school this morning about what people think of me. I'm just going to sit down and be quiet because they're going to think something strange of me. I'm just going to sit over here in the corner and act like I don't know what's going on so they won't call on my name. But this is not what God called all of us to do. He's called us to stand up. This makes a conclusion that if you lean on God, he will stay with you. This makes a conclusion that he would take care of his people. You know, I started thinking about Moses, how Moses knew he wouldn't be able to make it to the promised land. And I started thinking about how Moses, you know, was told to go up to Mount Nebo and there he would die. You know, I started thinking about Moses, but I also thought, I said, you know, Moses know a lot of stuff. You know, Moses done been through the rain. He done seen the lightning strike. He done heard the thunder roar. He done seen the high waters rise on his life, but Moses still didn't give up. Moses knew he wasn't even going to heaven. Many other God come down here and said, y'all ain't going to heaven. We're going to start doing whatever we please. But Moses, you know, I started thinking about Moses that if I knew I wasn't going to heaven, I would have done quit. I would have been thrown in the towel a long time ago. But if it had not have been for God's divine energy, I remember the old folks used to say that was something within that holdeth the rain. Something within that banishes pain. Something within that I cannot explain. But all I know is there's something within. Do anybody know today that there's something? within. But this reminds me of Satan and his evil forces that has been set up to distract our young people and middle-aged people and older people. It don't matter what age you are. Satan and his evil forces are there to attack every last one of us. Satan is sitting here, he's right now sitting here and looking at us and saying, Andrew, want to know who can I attack when they walk out the church? This reminds me of a meeting that Lucifer had called one night with his men. Lucifer said, I wonder who would go and stop men from following Christ. One man stood up and said, oh Lucifer, thy evil one, well, send me and I'll go down and tell these people the right way. Lucifer said, well, I'm wondering how will you go down and tell these people how not to follow Christ? He said, I'll tell them that there is no God. Lucifer said, no, you can't tell them that there's no God because Jesus was God in the flesh and they seen him for themselves. And they seen him turn water into wine between the pouring in and the pouring out. And they seen him walk on water just like it was a sidewalk. And they seen him make the rain and the wind lie down like sleepy dogs between the master, don't you care, and peace be still. So you can't convince them that there is no God. Another man stood up and said, I tell them that there is no heaven. Lucifer said, no, you can't tell them that there's no heaven. Because Jesus has already explained to them that I'm going to prepare a place and make a city that wasn't made with hands. And John, he convinced them on the Isles of Patmos that he seen a city that had 12 gates to it. So you can't tell them that there is no heaven. Well, another one stood up and said, Lucifer, I'm going to tell them that there's no hell. Lucifer said, you can't do that because Jesus told his people that he seen me falling as an angel. And he already warned them of the lake of fire. Well, so you can't tell them that there is no hell. Another him stood up and said, Lucifer, send me. And I'll go down and I'll stop them from joining Jesus. Lucifer said, how will you stop these people from following Jesus? He said, well, I'm going to go down and I'm going to lead them on. And I'm going to tell them all kind of sweet words. And just when they start to go to Christ, I'm going to tell them to wait. Well, he said, you need to be saved, but wait. You need to be born again, but wait. You need to be sanctified, but wait. Tomorrow is just enough time. You need to wait. Lucifer said, I think that's going to work. I think it's going to work. But I remember not so long ago when I was seeking my soul's salvation. And I did not have the mindset which way I go. Well, I heard the preacher say, repent ye because the kingdom of God is yet at hand. And I heard the preacher say, come to me and rest, lie down, thou weary one, lie down, rest your head upon my breast. And I came to Jesus just as I was. Is there anybody here today that know that you can come to Jesus just as you are? It don't matter how old you are, it don't matter how sick you are, you can still come to Jesus. I know his name is wonderful, his name is counselor, his name is mighty God, his name is Prince of Peace, his name is everlasting God. I know he walks with me, he talks me. He tells me. In heaven and earth. Is it all right? Is it all right? You know he got all power? Anybody know he got power? Saving power. Have anybody felt his power? They said it felt like the fire. Shut up in Jeremiah. I'm through. I'm through. But I just want you all to know, as I go to my chair, that sometime we have to be taken the roundabout way. And sometimes we have to be going around this obstacle course to know which way to go. And once you figure out which way you're going, once you figure out which way you want to go, you don't need that roundabout way. We got a victory. We got a heaven that was promised to us. And we are just to walk on in. Don't be like the Israelites. Let us not be like Reuben. Another thing is, those people in those tribes didn't try to help one another. When one was falling, they didn't try to help one brother get up. When one was falling, they didn't try to correct his mistakes. But we as children of God, we ought to be able to correct one of each other, our friends, our brethren, mistakes. If you see your sister falling, help her get back up again. If you see your brother falling, help him get back up again. Sometimes it all it takes is saying, I love you. Turn to catch your neighbor and say, neighbor, I love you. Neighbor, I'm here for you. Neighbor,